just got a new lead from one of the marketing pieces that you put out. A potential client calls you and they say, "This sounds good. I'd like to invite you to have a walkthrough." You go do that walkthrough. Everything seems to be great. Then you go home and you work your tail off putting together a fantastic proposal, and then days go by not hearing a peep until ultimately they tell you, "We decided to go in another direction." Rejection. If this keeps happening to you, then this video is for you. If you're a cleaning business owner that is constantly putting out proposal and then just being told either your price is too high or we're just not that interested and we decided to go with someone else and you're tired of it, I'm gonna show you how to completely turn that around, flip the script where you start landing those customers. Also, stay to the very end because I'm going to give you a dynamite line to use on your walkthroughs that's guaranteed to help your proposals convert an extra 40%. Now, before we dive in, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is MikeMak and I'm the founder of AutomatedCleaningBusiness.com. And today we are talking about overcoming that dreaded just rejection that we feel when we put our hearts and souls into having a great walkthrough, putting together a great proposal, ultimately to hear that they're gonna go in a different direction. So why does this happen? The reason why you're losing these proposals left and right is from a lack of positioning. See, a lot of people think it's a volume game. Oh, you just gotta do more, you gotta do more, you just gotta do more. But the truth of the matter is, it's not about that. These potential offices are just looking for the best company. They're looking for the best cleaning provider that's actually going to take care of them for the long haul. Trust me, these offices that you're after, they don't want to be shopping around. It's just a headache. It's just a nightmare. Why do they shop around? Because there's nothing out there that's particularly inspiring to them. There's nothing that's getting them to say, yes, this company is different. I want to work with this company. So it really comes down to a lack of positioning. See, a lack of positioning will lead potential clients to ghosting you after you send out a proposal or telling you, "I'm sorry, you're just way over budget." Does that sound familiar? Then you're not positioning your company the right way. Countless YouTube videos and forums exist of people telling you the new flavor of the month way of getting clients. And maybe you've tried several of them, but let me ask you, are you happy with those results? See, obviously all of these methods do work to a certain degree, but if you're not positioned correctly, this is gonna keep happening to you over and over and over again. So I'm gonna give you 3 actionable things that you can do today to start turning those no's into yeses so you can finally grow your business to where you know it ought to be. Okay, the first tip is you need to stop the desperation marketing. This, more than anything, is going to kill your positioning. It's gonna make you seem like you're not an expert. Why? Because experts don't need to do desperation marketing. So if you're wondering, okay, Mike, but what do you mean by that? What I mean by that is just calling people or cold emailing people or knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, I'm available. Would you like our services? Please have our services. Hey, we'll even underbid." Now, what's sad about that is underbidding is your only shot when you use desperation marketing. But just think about what this type of marketing signals in your potential client's brain. This company is in need of money. So if they need money, then they probably don't have a lot of clients. And if that's the case, they're probably not very good at what they do. So I'm gonna go somewhere else for my cleaning services. So even though I don't enjoy things like cold email, cold calling, and going door to door, if you insist on doing things that way because that's maybe where you have the most skill, that's fine. But you need to tweak the desperation and you need to turn that into confidence. The type of confidence that would allow you to talk to a customer like you have 50 offices that are high ticket and paying you great money with high profit margins, even if it's not the truth. Now, I am in no way advocating you lie even a little bit. Positioning yourself will never put you in a position where you're lying. What I'm telling you to do is approach your marketing confidently. Write your cold emails, write your cold calling scripts, write your in-person pitches when you go knocking on doors. If those are your ways of going about it, then write as if you're that company that is absolutely crushing it right now. This is your only way to actually break through, because if you can't position yourself right, then guess what? You're like everyone else. And when you're like everyone else, it's a race to the bottom when it comes to pricing. Let's get to the second one. Okay, tip number 2 for turning those no's into yeses and actually landing these contracts is confident walkthroughs. When you go on a walkthrough with a potential client, I want you to be honest with me for a second. What do you think the goal of that walkthrough is? See, if you're like most cleaning business owners, including myself in the beginning, you think the idea is, let me figure out what's the square footage, let me figure out how many bathrooms are there, and let me figure out, how many exam rooms, what's needed when. And if you think that's what a walkthrough is for, then you are partially correct and incorrect. So what's a walkthrough really for? A walkthrough is for them to get a good sense of who you are. Yes, you're there to understand the parameters of the space. Yes, you're there to understand how much square footage and how often do you want certain things. But what's more important than that is giving the company you'll be working with a great sense of who you are, what your company's about. And this could be accomplished without you ever bragging about your company. Instead, you need to flip the script. You need to be more confident. You need to go there and ask them questions, not just about the space. Ask them what led you to want to make a change like this. I know it could be a headache talking to several cleaning company owners, but what made now the right time, just so I have an understanding? What's your timeline on making a change? What is something here that the cleaning company is currently doing that drives you nuts? What's a pet peeve you may have that where you see 99% of the place could be absolutely sparkling clean, but if there's one oversight, it would be enough to make you really upset. All of these questions give you the opportunity to run the walkthrough. Now, in case you're like, yeah, but that feels weird. Why would I run the walkthrough? They're running the walkthrough. Then I want you to consider this. They have a problem that they're trying to solve, so they're reaching out to companies just like yours. If you can solve their problem, they're gonna be very happy with you for a long time because it's difficult to find great providers. So if you can show that you are somebody of high value and high authority, then they are going to choose you. That is the only way to conduct this walkthrough. Just imagine for a second, if you were in a doctor's office and you sat down, and as soon as you got into the doctor's office, the doctor's like, so what do you want to talk about? I mean, we're really awesome. You'd be like, wait, what? Aren't you gonna ask me questions? I have a problem. You need to figure out what the problem is and how you could solve it. It just doesn't work, and that's why I tell you have to attack from this frame. Now let's get to number 3. Okay, before we get to tip number 3, quickly, if you are getting value from this video, I want you to hit me with that thumbs up, and also, consider subscribing because I put out videos just like this every single week. Now let's get to number 3. Okay, lastly, you need to ask this question if you are not already. This question, phrased exactly how I'm phrased, has been tested hundreds of times, not only by myself, but also my students, and it gives the best results, and I'm giving it to you right now. See, when you're on these walkthroughs, another reason why these deals just completely fall flat and you never land these clients is because you are so far apart from what they're actually paying. And the sad part is a lot of people leave these situations thinking, oh, these offices are cheap, they don't want to pay what's really worth. And in reality, that's not the case at all. It's just the company before you didn't know how to bid, so they completely underbid themselves just to win the job, and now they can't fulfill great cleaning services for this client, and this client now has a false understanding of what a great service is actually valued at. So a great way to eliminate this problem on the spot is by asking this simple question. All right, Jan, I'm gonna go home and put together something very customizable for your space. But just to make sure that we're not light years apart, what is your current cleaning budget? Because if we are very far apart, I can let you know up front that there's a big gap between what you're looking for and ultimately what your budget is. That will save us both a lot of time. See, that's an important budget question to ask. And do you see how I asked it? It wasn't very timid and saying, hi, what is your cleaning budget? Because that's just not gonna work. See, the way you're asking this is in such a way that pricing-wise, you are perfectly fine to let them know on the spot. There will be no proposal because it's just a waste of time. This is one of many things you can do to help position your company as the prize. Just these tweaks alone should help you flip the script and start turning those no's into yeses. But if you would like my team's help to personally work with you and take you by the hand every step of the way through every aspect of your cleaning business to take it to the next level completely, I want you to comment high ticket below and I will reach out to you and then we'll go from there. But if you'd rather just continue to watch some great YouTube videos, then I highly recommend you check this one out. Peace out, Cub Scouts.